Welcome to Running the Ropes here on the Anti-Diva Network. I am Chris Kelly. Now, at this time, I am joined by a very special guest. I am joined by a former WWE Diva, NXT Diva, SCW Tough Enough, the lovely and talented Ivelisse Vélez. Is it Vélez? I'm terrible at pronouncing her surname, but yes, Ivelisse.
Yeah, Ivelisse Vélez. Yeah. What's up, man?
Right now. I'm chilling out here in lovely England. I would say it's sunny, but I'll be lying to you. It's absolutely peeing down outside. But
yeah.
To be honest, I'd rather be in America right now, where I'm going in about a month. I'm heading to Philadelphia and Arizona for Bound for Glory.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's cool.
So hopefully over there it'll be nice and warm. But yeah, so how are you today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing fine now. I will tell listeners this. Today I have to speak slowly because if I don't, even I have no idea what I'm saying. So if I sound quieter, I am being slower and quieter than I usually actually am.
Yeah, and I'll probably be imitating your accent though, because I have for some reason I like to pop out some English words sometimes.
I don't mind. Do what you want. If you want today you can be English. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Now I just saw that it was your birthday the other day. So happy birthday for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks.
Now, I would say let's get drunk, but I think it's, Sunday? I think Sunday's a bad day to get drunk because you have work in the morning. But
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just thinking this. You started wrestling when you were 15 years old. I mean, how did you get into wrestling at that such a young age?
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm a dumbass for doing that, but sometimes it's kind of like there's a good and a bad to everything, and just starting that young, and I pretty much gave up scholarships. I was an honor student and stuff in Puerto Rico, and I pretty much gave up scholarships and everything to pursue my career early, because I'm very ambitious, so I wanted to get in early and just, I had I would say luck, but I would say the blessing to be able to begin in Puerto Rico, and soon after that I started training. I was already doing TV and stuff, and I was in high school and I was already on TV or whatever in Puerto Rico, but it was kind of hard to juggle that too, but I did it, and then from that it was kind of hard for me, like I was kind of trying to find a way to be able to, because at that time, wrestling wasn't that great, paying-wise or whatever in Puerto Rico, so that's how I ended up deciding to come to the States and just kind of, make it here, because obviously that's the ultimate goal for everybody. Lucky enough, with all the struggles and all the stuff, sacrifices and struggles, I was lucky enough and to get on the Tough Enough thing and get that going for WWE.
Well, you bring up Tough Enough. I mean, how was this?
Wait, hold on.
Okay, you bring up Tough Enough. How was this approached to you? I mean, how was this put to you?
How was it brought up to me?
Yes.
Well, it was as soon as I saw the announcement or whatever, I automatically send in my stuff to whatever the announcement said, and it was kind of like 50-50 because I kind of searched them for the announcement, and they kind of searched me. So it's kind of like by the time I was talking, hey, we think you'd be great for this Tough Enough, show coming up, and I already started talking, to the people or whoever. It's oh great, so then even better, so it's oh fantastic then, and thank God everything went well with that, and I was just so happy, nobody would even know, everything I went through to get to whatever, I was super happy.
I mean, I was literally just watching Tough Enough the other day, and I mean, you were a great wrestler, but for you, how was it to be chucked off the show because of injury and not because of your skills?
Oh, man, don't even ask me that. That was so hard for me, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could see it in my face, when you, just knowing that and having, when you have Steve Austin tell you the only reason why you're here in the bottom three is because of your leg, and that kind of hit me. And it's not like it's bad, because it's not like he's saying something bad to me, but just just knowing that it's like, oh, it's not because I suck. It's because of, you know, something beyond my control. It's like, So that's why I was so emotional. Like, it had nothing to do with any kind of physical pain or anything like that. It was more mental. Like, that screwed me up, you know?
You bring up Stone Cold and like the whole trainers in Tough Enough. How was it to train with people like Stone Cold, Booker T, and Trish Stratus?
It was a blessing, you know. Especially, you know, you have Trish there, you know, and everything. And I felt so blessed there, and just having that support from people you admire. You know what I'm saying? It just means everything to you, you know. Especially like Steve, like Austin, who's very supportive. Trish, very supportive. Like I will always cherish that. You know, I'll always cherish that good experience of that. You know.
Yeah. Now, what are your thoughts on the eventual winner Andy Levine? Because of course he was released from WWE a few weeks back, or a few months back. I say. I mean, who do you think should have won that show apart from yourself?
Oh, me,
apart from yourself.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, like, you know, the injury part too. I really believe that, man, I don't know, man. I mean, everyone, well, I can't say everyone, but most of the people I met there, you know, were good people and worked hard, you know, every day. Cause, oh man, nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever know how hard that is. Like, what you saw on TV, man, that was 3 times, you know, harder on us. But I obviously feel that Matt, he was super talented. Matt Cappuccino, I don't know how you say his last name. Matt he has a difficult last name. And Martin, he was super talented as well. And I mean, Luke, I know everyone saw him like the bad guy and all that stuff, but he's actually a pretty, you know, when he's not in his character thing, you know, being Luke the bad guy or whatever the hell they were, you know, however he was, he can be pretty professional and pretty cool, but I thought he was pretty, like, at least towards the end, he worked hard to be able to fit that mold that everyone thought that, you know, WWE superstar is supposed to be and whatnot. But, I mean, at the end, they chose who they believed had what they were looking for, and, you know, that's cool.
But, I mean, and like, there are talks about them bringing back for a second series. But there are people saying that because the winner made it on, didn't even make it on TV, that hurt the credibility of that show. Do you agree with that at all?
I don't have an opinion on that. Like, it just speaks for itself, you know. I can only say that, like, just all that kind of stuff. I know where you're going to and all that stuff. Like, it just all speaks for itself, you know. I don't really want to.
But it's much more fun. It's much more fun if you say it, because you're a wrestler. I'm just a fan.
Oh man.
Much more fun.
I'll just leave it. I know. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Everything and everything will. At the end of the day, too, everyone will have their own opinion and everything like that. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, think of it what you want, and that's. I'll just leave it at that. You know, everyone. I'm not gonna. Especially when supposedly I have an attitude and I'm opinionated or whatever, I'll be cool. I'm cool, you know.
No, okay, I'll bring that up later on because that's later on in my interview. Now after NXT, you went down to FTW. I've been down. Yeah. I went down to Florida last year. Yeah. And and this is true. I hate the people that go to FTW. I don't like the fans there. Because they seem to think that they're a bigger part of the show than they actually are, and that applies for TNA and FTW. Like I say, I went there last year. Great wrestlers. I mean, what was your thoughts on like kind of FTW then being changed into NXT? Because like that must have been like a big change from wrestling in front of like 20 people.
Yeah, definitely a big change. Big change, but honestly, you know, a great change, you know, like at least it's change for good, and you know that's the whole goal about it. And I mean, I think it's a great opportunity for, I mean, you know, I was lucky enough to be able to be a part of the beginning of the, you know, the new NXT and everything like that, and super, super endlessly grateful for that. And I think it's great. We're at the direction it's going, you know, and I'm super grateful for trainers there as well. I'm super grateful for the experience of all of it, you know. I mean, nothing's perfect, and I'm sure, like, obviously the whole release thing, and everyone wonders what happened, this and that, but I mean, I really don't want to talk about it, you know. It was super hard for me, you know, when it happened, but I'm super grateful for all the opportunities that were given to me while I was there, you know.
I mean, it's kind of weird because, like, I have to watch NXT online because there's no way in England of finding it. Why do you think WWE won't, like, kind of, like, acknowledge this wrestling brand? That's fantastic, because it appears like they have no mention on website. There's just no way to find it. Why do you think they're doing that?
Just trust that they're doing the right thing. Just trust me. Just trust that they're doing the right thing. That you'll be able to get your hands on the footage, and you'll be able to they're doing their thing. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. Okay.
Let me guess. 2 words.
Trust me. It'll be all right.
WWE Network, if it appears ever. Now, someone asked me, what's with the situation on NXT where some people are pushed for 2 or 3 weeks then disappear?
I don't know. I mean, remember, it's still, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's still, you know, it's, I guess, it's the developmental system, you know, like, so it just, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to, like, say anything bad I mean, I'm sure they're doing what they want to do to make sure they see the talent how they want to see them, and, you know, they are entitled to do whatever they want. You know, it's their show, you know.
I mean, like, there are great people down in NXT, and I mean, there are girls that can out wrestle the main girls on the roster. And yeah. I mean, like, the reports, I'm not quite sure if you've seen them, that Beth Phoenix is set to leave WWE next month in October. And there are girls like Paige, who is fantastic and so young, yet she's being on NXT. I mean, when do you think the talents from NXT will be pushed up to the main roster?
I have no idea, man. Honestly.
Well, okay.
I really don't.
Okay. How about, who do you think personally should be the first few people to go up to the main roster?
Man, you're asking me a lot of my opinion.
That's the idea.
Honestly, come on, man, stop putting me on the spot. Come on. You're loving every second of it. You're laughing, man. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not up to me to decide that. I do know that all of them, everybody down there works super hard. So, you know, everybody deserves a shot. But, I mean, obviously, you know, you have people like Seth Rollins, you know, Ono, and, you know, just many other more, and, like, that have paid their dues, and, you know, and stuff like that. So obviously I would say that, you know, I feel like I could relate to that stuff, you know, and I would like to see them get moved up.
I was just watching the match between you and Paige, and it was being called by Jim Ross. For you, how has it been wrestling and having been called by Jim Ross?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, like I said, I'm super grateful for having that opportunity, and me and Paige did. It was a great match, and it was like kind of like, and it was the first match from this particular season, and I think we kind of set the tone with that, and it was great, you know. Super grateful.
Well, like, you bring up you and Paige, and people on Twitter seem to love the whole idea of the anti-diva that you and Paige had going on. And I personally think that would be a great idea for the main roster. I mean, we've seen girls down the years, I mean, in recent years. I mean, just look at Katie Lee Burchill. She was kind of like that anti-diva, not the typical blonde-haired Barbie doll, per se.
See, that's the thing, though, man. I had that kind of going against me with the whole anti-diva thing, the fact that my hair was blonde.
Then dye it. Well, you have.
Which kind of sucked because I wanted to dye my hair numerous times, but I wasn't allowed to. But because I'm like, okay, I understand. I get what you're saying. I totally understand. I want to dye my hair, but I can't, because the whole, why are you an anti-diva? Because you're blonde and this and that. I'm like, dude, if you only knew. But yeah, that's why, like, now, like, I'm not a blonde anymore. Like, I've always, since the beginning of my career, I've always represented that. I've always just, my blonde hair kind of threw that off or whatever, but I have my reasons why I was blonde, but I'm not going to go all full into detail about that.
You can if you want.
But,
if you really want to.
All right, cool. Well, it's something as simple, like, I was actually born, like, my hair was kind of, like, reddish when I was born. Which is kind of weird and odd for a Puerto Rican, like full-blooded Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But it kind of became blondish or whatever. So, like, my mom, like, she works, she loved the whole thing about me being blonde or whatever. So I guess maybe she wanted me to be blonde forever. I don't know. So she kind of stuck in my head that if I dyed it any other color, that my hair would get messed up. And I'm super attached to my hair. So I kind of just kept it blonde for forever. And, but I didn't really like it, but whatever, especially because, like, so it's that stereotype stuff and whatever, but I don't know, I finally dyed it, whatever. I was actually going to dye it red, but I was like, nah, let's just
redhead
go
for the win.
Brown for now.
But you are but, right. I mean, when people think of wrestling, divas, women's wrestling, they think of the typical blonde hair, but then you have girls like Lita who had red hair.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
I think you're right. It would have made much more sense if you had dark hair. If not, it's like anti-diva, yet she's got blonde hair.
Or any other color other than blonde. That's just insane. But it's crazy though. It's crazy how something as simple as the hair of your color, like automatically a stereotype goes, bam, right on your forehead. But like my whole career, I've always been against, like, and you can even, like, my audition tape for Tough Enough, like, that's what it was all about. Like, I'm talking there, the whole time I'm talking, I'm like, I'm not here to be a pretty little model, my FCW Diva of the Month, I'm not here to be a pretty little model, like, I've always represented that ideology, and then Paige came along, and we could relate to that, you know what I'm saying, and that's how it came about,
Well, I mean, like that, and that's something that I've been saying for absolute years, because I am a fan of women's wrestling. But it's to a point where right now, and I know I'm kind of like a jackass, but when you have the company's division focused on one woman called Kelly, who disappears for like 5 months and returns, it's not right. It needs saving. And there are girls like yourself who were in NXT who could wrestle. Yeah, it boggles my mind why you were not brought up ASAP, because both you and Paige are TV ready and can wrestle. The fact that you're stunning, that's awesome. But the fact you can wrestle, fantastic. Yeah. And that's just one thing that really pisses me off about WWE right now. Now I've got another quick question from Twitter. Is there anyone?
Twitter?
Twitter. Yeah, that's kind of my little joke here, because apparently I pronounced Twitter as Twitter, so I now refer to it as Twitter.
Cool.
Now, is there anyone, be it WWE or TNA, that you would have liked to wrestle but never got the chance to?
Oh yeah, I would have loved to wrestle Beth. WWE. Actually, I'm the kind of person, I love to work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love to see what can happen, with everybody, because everybody's different. I never like to label anyone like, oh, she sucks, or oh, this and that. I never like to do that. I just look at everybody as a different, as a different mix, and just I love to like try to be creative and try to figure out what can happen, mix me with that person, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just see everyone like a different puzzle and just try to figure it out and see how we can bring the best out of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
so
I think that was great.
But definitely, I really definitely wanted that chance. I had the opportunity to wrestle Natalya, which was amazing. Very grateful for that, great experience. And definitely honored for that one. And yeah, I mean, I would have really liked to wrestle everybody, you know, and just kind of see what I could have done with different people, you know.
Well, I'm now gonna put you on the spot because you're Ivelisse, okay?
Now I don't guarantee that I will.
No, okay, on the spot, okay. And like I said, this is an open mic. You can say what you want. I mean, I will put this up tomorrow evening, and I will not touch it, and I will not edit it. There was a report by Dave Meltzer who basically said that the WWE officials thought that you were talented as hell, but had an attitude. Care to respond to this?
There what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were talented as hell, but had an attitude.
Uh-huh.
Respond to this. What's your response to this?
I mean, I mean, I did have my initial reaction, which since when I read it, I was going through a whole bunch of different mixed emotions. I mean, hey, like, don't judge me. Like, I'm a human being too, you know. And especially when something like that happens out of nowhere, like I didn't even know how to react, and especially something that is so meaningful for to you, like basically like this is all I am, this is all I've done, and like this is me, you know, like this is everything to me, and I sacrificed so much and worked really hard for it, and then just like out of that gone, just out of nowhere gone like that, and it was really hard for me. Attitude, I mean, that's based, everyone has a different perception. Like, somebody, one person can think that I'm just cool as hell, I just don't take crap from anybody, or the other person can be like, oh, she's a total bitch, she doesn't keep her mouth shut, or whatever. Like, everyone has different opinions about different people, and, at the end of the day, I really don't feel like I have a bad attitude. Other people are entitled to other opinions. I know for sure that my whole life I try to maintain the most professional attitude I possibly can, because my career means everything to me. So that's why I have that kind of mindset. Nobody's perfect. Everyone's human. So I guess sometimes it might seem that way. Sometimes it might not. But at the end of the day, I know, and there's people, I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, I mean, as a fan, I'd rather have a wrestler that has the balls to speak up about what they think than just... I guess
that might be my problem, maybe.
Than someone that would rather just sit there and say, yes, sir, or threaten to quit WWE if they weren't put onto TV, a.k.a. the Bella Twins.
Yeah, which I never did, by the way. I don't know if there's anyone who might think that or reports anywhere or whatever, which I never did. If I might have done that in character, I mean, what the hell? Everybody does that in character. That's, called the character. But I never did that personally, ever,
Yeah, I think, like I say, I'd rather have someone who's willing to stand up for for themselves as opposed to a yes man or I will quit.
I do that. I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, I am known. I do stand up for myself. I always do. I mean, you have to,
Yeah, I mean, it's wrestling. You have to stand up and show the world that you've got the heart and passion to do it.
Yeah, And if someone's like, if someone's doing something wrong or whatever, like, if me standing up for myself or me believing in myself means I have a bad attitude, then I guess I have a really bad attitude. But at the end of the day, like, I know for a fact that, I try to always stay humble. Like I said, nobody's perfect. I am a human being. But I try to stay as humble as I can, keep my family close to me, and I try to stay as humble as I can, as professional as possible. That's my kind of work ethic. Always, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. Now, so on Twitter, I was asked, do you have any interest in going to TNA wrestling?
I don't know. I would rather not comment on that.
Damn it! It was worth a try. It's an interview.
You're like, I want to get some more out of this girl.
No, I mean it's fine. But hell, like I said to you off the air, I'm going to Bound for Glory next month and next year. So if you're there, I'll say hi.
Cool.
So what do you have planned for the future? I saw on Twitter you teased a possible career in MMA. I mean, what do you have planned?
Well, that's more like, wrestling has always been my priority throughout my, has always been my priority. I mean, I have trained, before when I was in Chicago, before the Tough Enough thing came. I was wrestling here and there, but I kind of had a lot of free time, and that's when I started training. I don't know, it was probably like 8 months. And then the Tough Enough thing came, and then that just kind of stayed in the back burner as my wrestling career picked up with that, and then now, within my time free from the pause and waiting for the contract stuff, to pass and everything, I kind of just started thinking, maybe, I don't know. At least I know for sure that the MMA is always a possibility. Because, I mean, I've always loved mixed martial arts and everything, and I've always loved that as well. I was just kind of hesitant to get into it, just because I'm like, well, I kind of put MMA and wrestling on a, weigh them in. So obviously wrestling has always been my priority, but I mean, MMA will always be a possibility for me, at least.
Well,
I was lucky enough to meet, great trainers and stuff like that. So, I could always go back to training or whatnot.
Well, I mean, I think honestly, because you're so young in terms of wrestling, you could go away for 2 or 3 years, come back, and you still won't be in your prime. I mean, most women wrestlers are in their prime, about 28, 29, 30 odd. You got 4 or 5 years to train up until your prime. So I mean, if you go over to MMA, kick some ass, and come back, feel free.
I feel like an old lady already. I feel like an old lady already.
No.
And I just turned 24.
Yeah, you're 3 years older than I. I turned 22.
Right, I know, and I know, I keep hearing, oh, you're still young, and I'm like, no. I am 24, I get it, I'm young, whatever, but it's this has been a long journey for me already, okay? But,
I mean,
it's alright. I'll always find a way to continue to, rise and continue to,
I mean, and that's one thing I said to you earlier. I mean, you have got such a good history in wrestling that you can wrestle anywhere in the world because you could mix it up with anyone, and that is something that girls in WWE don't have. I mean, some of them were models, some of them started off as a stripper on ECW. Literally, you have what they don't have. You have experience, and I think. Give it a few years, be it WWE or TNA, you will be a major star in that women's division.
Well, okay.
Now, before I let you go, can I get a quick liner for the show? Just say, blah, 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 welcome to Running the Ropes on the Unchained Wrestling Network.
Welcome to Running the Ropes on the Unchained Wrestling Network.
Yeah, you are listening. Hey, this is you are listening to Running the Ropes on the Unchained Wrestling Network. So basically say who you are, and Running the Ropes on the Unchained Wrestling Network.
Okay.
Do it whenever.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. All right. Hey, people, what's up? This is Ivelisse Vélez, a.k.a. former WWE Diva, Sofia Cortez, and you are listening to Running the Ropes on Unchained Wrestling Network.
Fantastic. Now, can I get a follow on Twitter so I can send you the archive of the show when it's up? Get a follow on Twitter so I can send you the link to the archive when it's up.
A follow on Twitter?
So
okay. Aren't I following? I think I am following you already.
No.
Oh.
I feel, but yeah, so I'll tweet you in a minute and say, hey, this is Chris, and then I'll send you the archive once I've uploaded it. So yeah, thank you very much, and you know what, feel free to come back anytime if you want to come on and shout out someone, feel free. I usually have a co-host here, but I scared him away. So yeah, if you want to come on and talk about pro wrestling, feel free. Okay, cool. Right. Have a good evening, and I'll speak to you soon.
Sounds cool.
Okay,
thanks, man. Peace. Bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.